There is no place like Africa. This phrase resonated in the speech of Vice President Kashim Shettima at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, where he emphasized the continent's growing economic potential. The Vice President also highlighted key sectors with huge potential for investments, such as technology, infrastructure, and renewable energy. He declared that Africa has woken up and now the destination for global investment, stressing that the continent is undergoing significant transformation and ripe for long-term growth. Okay, Adewale, how would you describe the Vice President's speech at the World Economic Forum, held in Davos, Switzerland? Did he sound convincing to you?
Well, I read that statement and I'm impressed by his reference to the former head of state, the revolutionary Murtala Mohammed, what he said about that Africa has come of age and we should not be over-dependent on foreign powers. Sure. So I think it was good for him that he re-echoed that spirit that it is now time for Africa to actually stand on its own. And the World Economic Forum is, since 1971, has been a nectar that draws global leaders from all over the world. It's an opportunity for people to showcase their economic potentials. It draws about 3,000 participants every year. They go through about 500 sessions, It's that lasts for about 5 days. And people come from businessmen all over the world. People that have never been to Africa, but have been fed with bad stories, in Western media, of misery, of poverty, which is not actually what we are.
Exactly.
So I think it was a very good thing that the Vice President was able to attend that conference, and he was given an opportunity to speak about Nigeria. And he made mention of critical, very important projects that we are doing, where the current government has a back on. He spoke about the Lagos-Calabar, which is one of the biggest projects anywhere in Africa. He also spoke about the gas pipeline going to Morocco, which involves about 14 countries. So I think these are remarkable milestones, that the Vice President was able to. And he also had side event meetings with presidents
Botswana,
Botswana, and so I think it was a good thing that we were there, and that tells you about the beauty of democracy. You can see that countries that are ruled by military governments in West Africa, they were not invited. So it's a very good opportunity for Nigeria to showcase that, irrespective of the challenges that we have, Nigeria has a lot of potentials, and we can actually reclaim our flourishing fortunes. Okay. But it's to go beyond rhetoric. We need to translate from rhetoric to practice, to practical steps.
Show working.
Yes, there must be electricity. If you don't have electricity 24 hours, you can't be talking about investment.
That's the infrastructure.
Yes, infrastructure. You cannot be, kidnapping, which it has reduced, thanks to the shift, the service chiefs and especially National Security Advisor, kidnapping, terrorism. We are making a lot of progress. We've made progress, in the past 2 years. No, Ribadu is doing a good job, but we can do more. Sure. So it's just about talking about rhetoric. We must tackle things that dissuade people from coming to invest in our country.
Now, he talked about that Nigeria is a great place to invest. So what are the specific reforms, economic reforms or policies that this administration has put in place to make Nigeria an emerging investment destination?
You see, I may not have my data here, okay, but I tend to have some kind of strange opinion about this whole thing, about our FDI, whether we have been an investment destination. I see that most serious businessmen, especially in Europe and America, they've always seen the potential in Nigeria, even when many of us don't see it. True. They keep coming. I have some of them as my neighbors. I have Chinese. I have some of them living in our area, investing every day. So I think for me, it is more about what is the quality of investment they are bringing here. Why should they give us a lower quality than what they are giving their people? That should also be the conversation. Okay. How do they see us? They see the population as quite massive, as an opportunity to milk. So when we are saying we are too many, we cannot feed ourselves, they are saying us that no matter how little it is. You remember how the story of MTN when they came? Sorry, I'm mentioning a brand, but that's to let you know that some people see us better than we are seeing ourselves. Sure. But having said that, like you said, the conversation should be more of knowledge transfer. The conversation is, hey, it is not just giving us bread. Let us have a bakery here. Let us have things that will give our people real job.
Don't give us fish. Teach us how to fish.
You understand? Let us have a knowledge transfer. What is happening to the university that was supposed to be established here by a company, you know. These are issues that we should have. Trust me, the president especially has done a good job being the chief marketing officer.
Exactly.
And the vice president has also turned himself to be deputy marketing officer. But beyond that, we want to have a real conversation. It is clear now that you don't have to be white for you to reason high.
Sure.
And we have seen a good number of black people or Nigerians calling the shots in these climes. It is about knowledge transfer. It is about what do you have that you can share with us. And if they are not ready to have this conversation, then we shouldn't just open our doors.
Exactly.
It should be a level playing conversation and not just a dumping ground where they will bring all kinds of lower quality things and we say, oh, there is investment in Nigeria. No, the conversation should be thorough.
It should be thorough. Now, when you remember the glory days of Nigeria, you know, in the 60s and 50s, 60s, 70s, now getting the country to a better position, you know, like you said, is going to be more than talks. It's going to be practicability. Now, the question is, what is Nigeria doing, you know, to change the already existing narrative that, hey, the glory days can come back?
Well, it would be uncharitable to say the government is not doing anything, you know. But I think we can advise on chart a pathway to what the government is not doing at the moment. I know they have set up a lot of infrastructure to assist people to loans and all sort of things, you know. But what I think is absent is a conscious effort to tap the indigenous energy. When we take China, take Singapore, take Taiwan, it's not that they started going abroad for calling for foreign investment. They develop their own within. Why can't we have something like ABBA Economic Summit? Look, if you go out now, if you see the kind of shoes people are manufacturing from ABBA, you think they are made in Italy. You know, we talk about, oh, fake products, they are made in ABBA and all that. Japan was like that in the 60s. And China was like that in the 70s. Oh, they say, oh, I don't want to buy
in the 90s. China was too regarded as...
What Japan and China did was to encourage those people that are producing to step up the game and then produce qualitative materials that can compete with European products. But, and they had a plan of about 10 years.
But their government invested in their private sector.
Yes.
So is that
why can't we put in, let's say, 1 billion into ABBA, you know, to say, okay, the shoe manufacturers, send some of them abroad to Italy to learn about quality control, send some of them to Germany to learn, consciously sponsored by state and federal and state government. If you go to ABBA, if you see what people, there is no machine you take to ABBA that they cannot reproduce. I'm telling you. So the government has left this venture in the hands of individuals in an organized, manner that we cannot get the best from them. Most of the time, they are even raided. So you are producing fake products. So I think we have a lot of energy that we have refused to tap. And if we continue to go along this way, there's no way we can be talking about waiting for America to come and develop our country, because the world is a competitive market. No country wants you to develop. If you are developed, they will not be able to sell their products. So you have to realize that, and not just going to US and say come and invest here. No, even when they invest, they will take the profit back home. So our future it lies in developing our local potentials. And I think ABBA, Onitsha, you know, and many other parts of Gebode, there are a lot of potential that are hidden here. Unless we tap these resources and encourage them, fund them, we cannot talk about genuine industrial development of Nigeria.
You see, shockingly, you know, this is not, we're not paid to do this, but let's just market some of the things we have here. it will shock you that there are some companies in Nigeria that their products, when you relate with some of these products outside this country, is better. In fact, I think they are one of our sponsors, you know, on this program, talking about Coleman. There was time I was talking to someone thought Coleman is a foreign company, not knowing that these are people, their machines, everything is manufactured here. And that's to let you know that there are a lot of things that are in this country. I'm not even waiting for government to pump money. If they want to invest, good. If they want to be part of the shareholders, because that rhetoric is quite tiring. But let them give them waivers. Let them give them enabling environment. Let them give them something to make their business more at ease. But definitely their tax must be up to date. They must do the relevant things, and they must, like the issues he has mentioned, security is key. Security is key. Let the country be safer than what it is, because they are doing well, but it needs to be safer. Let those products that are coming from the farm, let the farmers be able to go to the farms without being attacked in their farmlands. And these are things that we should encourage government to continue, because they seem to have put a lot of focus on that. So please, it doesn't have to be white to be right. There are a lot of things that are happening right here in our soil that we need to give a lot of backings to. And people should stop this mentality that if it is made here, it is inferior.
Now, someone has told me something. He said that when a politician is richer than the businessman, the entrepreneur, there's a problem. Now, if you look at some countries like the United States, you see them investing in their, like the Nvidias of this world, you know, all of those major companies, major corporations, the government invest heavily.
Sorry to say, this particular argument came up, and I was telling someone that, do you actually believe that Elon Musk seems to be more powerful than Trump now? You know, this is a businessman who took a decision, who said, hey, this is where I'm headed. And you saw what happened at the election. The president can't do without him. In fact, the president almost made the whole inauguration about these tech giants. You know, and I remember one of the guests on Standpoint on this TV station on Saturday, very smart guy, he was saying that, hey, Mr. Governor, he didn't mention the state, that no matter how much you are collecting, no matter how much you are stealing, you can't be richer than a Dangote. You know, it is time we prioritize how to make your state richer, how to improve the revenue, how to allow business thrive in your state, rather than waiting for fighting over reform bills, how much of federal allocation you are getting. If you become the hub, you know, the investment hub in this country, and you allow your state to be industrialized, you do a whole lot of things, I tell you something, everybody will reckon with you. Those are the kind of governors we're looking for. And
also the conversation, or even though you come, oh, I want to invest in your state, I want to bring this particular business, we hear conversations like, what is in it for me? How do we conquer that if we want to grow it?
What is in need for them? I think businessmen should tell them, your people will be employed.
It's not about what is in need for.
I'm telling the businessmen, that's what they should tell them.
How do we change that narrative?
You know, there are, if I say this, a lot of people are aware. And I think even if Dangote is listening, he will bear me witness. I think when he wanted to set up Dangote refinery, Lagos was not his first choice. He went to some states, but the conditions he was giving, those politicians were thinking of their private interests, personal interests. He had to eventually come to Lagos.
We were supposed to come to Ogun State.
You know,
it's another conversation.
People are talking about their own personal interests. But when he came to Lagos, he was given all the incentives to make him set up that business. So our politicians, most of the time, they discourage foreign investors because when I know there's a particular state, the Cubans wanted to come and help them eliminate malaria, because Cuba was able to eliminate malaria in 1973. You know, Argentina did the same thing.
52 years ago.
No malaria, 73. You know, England also used to have malaria. It was eliminated. So, but the civil servants were asking for incentives. So the Cubans had to withdraw. So we have a situation where people are only thinking of their own personal interests.
I before others.
They are not thinking about the collective interest of the people. And that discourages a lot of people from coming to invest, you know, around this country.
How do we change that narrative? Because it is killing us.
I think it's this upcoming generation should also put on their thinking cap. There's something I love telling people. A time is coming, and that time is very close. It's a revolution. The old order will give way for the new order, and this new order is entrepreneurs, call them mini capitalists. They are going to, they are not, look at what is happening in entertainment industry. Do they wait for government? Do you understand? They've been screaming about piracy. Now piracy is a thing of the past, because for you to even play my video on TV, you have to pay me.
Exactly.
Those days they are tipping people. Oh, TV station, please let me play my music.
Now with the likes of the streaming
for you to even play it on YouTube, you need their approval. That's to tell you that things are changing. If they don't change, if this old order, when I mean old order, those people who are not stepping up, things will change them.
Things will change.
And things will change. So don't get yourself worried.
It is worrisome. It is worrisome. Even reminding me of the Dangote issue. It is in fact worrisome. Okay, but anyway, Adewale, thank you very much for coming. So having this conversation with us. Appreciate you. Kaidi Ladidi.
Always a pleasure.
As always, for having this conversation with us.